All right, ladies and gents, seems like we are just about ready to get the stream a-rollin' for today. Yes, welcome everybody back again to another stream. Today is stream number 401, and as the title may suggest, we are just going to be doing a chill stream today. Just a chill, casual little hangout stream. Nothing too crazy going on here. Figured we could hang out, talk about whatever it is you guys want to talk about, following stream 400, which was incredible, in my opinion. I thought that stream went really, really well, and thank you all so much for making it such a special stream, and such a big success. I thought that stream went really, really well. I had a lot of fun on that stream, and I was sad when it was over, so I think that's always a good sign. But take that and add that to the list of milestones in terms of the streams, because I really liked that stream. Might have been my favorite stream that we've ever done. So thank you all so much for the support regarding that stream. Hope you guys liked it as much as I did. First things first, before we get started with today's stream, let's go over our streaming schedule. We stream Monday to Friday, 6 to 7 Central, daily updates on the community tab, all of that good stuff. Like I said, today we are just going to be doing a chill, casual little hangout stream. Feel free to let me know in the chat how you guys are doing on this fine Monday evening. This week we should have a full week of streaming. I got nothing going on this week until Saturday, which we don't stream on Saturdays anyway, so seems like this week will be a full Monday to Friday week of streaming, so look forward for that. We're probably going to be playing some games, doing either a tier list or a bracket fight for Wednesday. Can't remember what we did last time we did one of those, so whichever one we did last time, we will just do the opposite this Wednesday, and we'll probably play some games Thursday, Friday, and then, Tuesday, Thursday, and then Friday. That'll be the normal 2-hour-long gaming session. So quick outline for the rest of this week. Full week of streaming. Should be fun. Hope you guys are looking forward to all of that. Let's see. How you guys doing? Let's read the chat really quick. Oh, you're still going to make the stream titles the recent 10 episodes. I forgot all about that. We can do that right now, since we are starting with 401. I mean, we got the 1 in there, right? So let's start titling these after Dragon's Rising episodes. So what was the first episode of Dragon's Rising? The Merge Part 1? We got to have stream in there somewhere. So I'm going to call this the Stream Part 1, unless you guys have a different title. But yeah, I completely forgot all about that. But let's start that here and now. The Stream Part 1 after the Merge Part 1. There we go. Save that. Yep, you should be able to see that now. Yeah, completely forgot all about that. Thank you for reminding me. The stream part 1, it do be, and then tomorrow it'll be the stream part 2, and so on and so forth, until we run out of episodes again, so... Oh, man, but at least we can have some fun for these 10 streams here. Let's see. Thank you, Wilster17, for becoming a channel member. Welcome to True Potential. Hope you enjoy your custom emojis and your shoutouts at the end of every video. Thank you very much, Wilster, for becoming a channel member. Appreciate that. What else do we got here in the chat here? Ooh, Primetime. Went to Boston Fan Expo yesterday. Met Peter Cullen. He signed my Bumblebee movie Prime. Also picked up the re-release of the OG Beast Wars Primal. Easily one of my favorite figures to mess with. Sounds awesome, Primetime. So jealous that you were able to meet Peter Cullen. That is definitely on my bucket list for sure. I hope it was a lot of fun for you. Sounds like you had a good time there. Congrats on getting that Bumblebee Prime signed too. That's really, really cool. Also, yeah, the OG Primal. I have that one too, the re-release. It is pretty fun to mess with. It's quite a fun little desk toy, I find. But thank you, Primetime, for letting us know that went well for you. Congratulations. Let's see. School starts on Wednesday. Not so good. Oh man, sorry to hear that school's starting. I guess it is around that time of year, right, where some folks go back to school. Ooh, also received the 102 today. Awesome, Primetime. Glad to hear that it made it there all right. No problemo. Let's see. Started dumb school today, but at least it's my last year. Well, at least that's good, Lizzie. That's good. Yeah, I suppose it is that time of year again, right? It is August, so yeah, people are going back to school. Luckily, I've graduated, so I don't need to deal with that. But I do still have those dreams occasionally where you wake up and you're sweating and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm late to school. Just kidding. I don't have school anymore. Don't worry. If you guys go back to school, I'm sure it'll go just fine for y'all. You'll be getting back to school ads. Not necessarily. I mean, most of the time I have like ad blockers on, so I hardly see any ads. And like I said, I'm not really in the market to go back to school shopping, so I've hardly seen any back to school ads. I have seen them all around my local stores though, like Target, Walmart. Was just at Target today, and they had a couple of those up as soon as you walked in the door. So that's always fun to see, right? Let's see, what else do we got here? Bring back Kahoots. I would love to bring back Kahoots. Unfortunately, Kahoot is not a very great website now. They've put some restrictions on how many people you could have per game. Not sure how many of y'all don't know that, but that's been the reason why we can't do Kahoots, because it's been a long time since they've added those stupid restrictions, and paying for a premium account is kind of ridiculous. They're kind of asking a fair bit for that. So, I mean, we could always bring them back, but you know, only 50 of y'all will be in there at one time. So, yeah, it is kind of a daring. Yeah, Blookit's the same problem. There's a player restriction. See, Kahoot was so much fun because there wasn't a player restriction. That way, everybody could be involved. And sure, like, say if we did bring them back, right? I'm sure some folks would love that, and, you know, people could answer in the chat as well. I do still have one. I've talked about this before. I do still have one Kahoot that we never ended up doing on the channel because I made it and then the restrictions hit. So we never got a chance to play it. I wouldn't be opposed to maybe doing like a trial stream, seeing how it goes. I mean, you know, 50 of you guys can only be in there at one time, but people might leave, some people might join. I don't know how well that sounds to you guys. I don't know how good that sounds, but, you know, it's an idea. It is an idea. Maybe we could try it at some point. Use that last Kahoot that I never ended up using for the channel. There are definitely some questions that are outdated, so I might need to fix that. But I wouldn't be opposed to trying it if that sounds like a good idea to you guys. Yeah, I don't think it would hurt to try it, you know, just to see how it goes. And if it goes well with the restrictions that Kahoot has, I mean, we could totally bring back trivia, because I really enjoyed making trivia. I know a lot of you guys enjoyed it, but you know, the restrictions have always been kind of putting a damper on that. So, but if you guys want to try it, maybe we could try that at some point this week. Maybe for Thursday. That'd probably be the best day to do it, honestly. Shadow of Ronin this week? Yeah, I was just thinking about that earlier today. We should really get back to Shadow of Ronin since we've completed the story, and all we need to do now is go around and collect all the goodies and all the extra characters and all that jazz. I mean, maybe we could do that this week. I'm not sure what we're going to be doing tomorrow, though, because Wednesday we're doing either a bracket fight or a tier maker. Tuesday, tomorrow, we could do Shadow of Ronin. We have Tuesday and Thursday, but if Thursday we're going to do the Kahoot thing, then the most obvious answer would be Tuesday. So, I don't know. Maybe we could do that. Yeah, Cole is my favorite ninja. Have I seen the I Am Groot Season 2 trailer? I have not, but I saw that they put it out. I don't know. I didn't really care for the first little batch of Groot shorts. I mean, they were fine, but kind of ultimately forgettable in my opinion. Maybe I'll check them out. They're not that long, so I'm not going to be spending too much of my time watching the Groot shorts because they're shorts at the end of the day. They're super short. What else do we got here? Can we do a me stream this week? It's been a while since we did one. Yeah, it's been a while since we did a me stream. We haven't done Shadow of Ronin in a while, and we also haven't done Pokemon, which I do want to get back into Pokemon shiny hunting. I think that could be a lot of fun. So we have options, totally. We'll definitely do one of those tomorrow for Tuesday. Not sure which one sounds the best, though. Maybe I'll think about it, make the decision tomorrow during the day. What else do we got here? Oh yeah, Ninjago hot takes. Yeah, we'll probably do another round of those this month. It is already the 7th, so we'll probably have to do the hot takes at some point, maybe announce them towards the middle of the month, shoot for maybe the end of the month to release that next video, because I do want to make one for August, so I don't think we did one for July, did we? Not too sure. Am I going to try to find a way to get the part 2 trailer? I mean, I don't have any special clearance for Lego stuff. I know as much as you guys know. So, I mean, I'm sure some way, somehow, if I hack into Lego's files, maybe I could recover the part 2 trailer, but I'm not like a scientist or whatever. I'm not a hacker. I'm not a super duper smart computer person, so I don't even know the first step in doing that. So I bet Lego will release it eventually, though. But yeah, for those that don't know, Lego apparently did show a part 2 trailer at Comic-Con this year. We haven't heard anything about that aside from the fact that they showed one. So Yeah, exactly. I'm just an average man from Wisconsin. I know as much as you guys. At the end of the day, I know just as much as you guys. It's not like Lego emails me and they're like, "Hey, here's the part 2 trailer, just so you have it." Yeah, I don't get that special treatment. Let's see. Cried during the whole trailer. Yeah, from what I heard, I mean, given the rumors that we've heard regarding that trailer, seems like it's supposed to be a special one. And if you guys were at Comic-Con, I'm sure it was a lot of fun to watch, because I know they did show that, so. Ever seen Norm of the North? It's terrible. Is that the, who plays the bear? Rob Schneider. Is that the one where he plays the polar bear? My goodness. Yeah, normal 48-year-old guy from Earth. Oh yeah, because I'm totally 48 and I'm totally from this planet. Absolutely. I ain't no alien. What are you guys talking about? Let's switch up the pictures, by the way, too. Let's go with Ninjago Core. It's been a minute since we've seen some Ninjago Core action on these streams. And, you know, the Core shorts have their moments. They're not great, but they certainly exist. They are certainly a series of events that occurred in Ninjagos. Anyone else hoping we get the part 2 trailer on the 12th? I mean, that would make a lot of sense, right? Because the part 1 trailer came out on April 1st, right? The first time we saw a trailer for part 1, our first little glimpse at part 1, that was April 1st. Episodes came out June 1st, so that's 2 months before the episodes dropped. So if the episodes are dropping October 12th of this year, 2 months prior to that would be, yeah, August 12th. Maybe. I think that would make a lot of sense. Probably would be a logical day to release it, but who knows? Lego's kind of unpredictable. They might even drop all of part 2 on one fateful Saturday afternoon. I don't know. They're pretty random, so it's pretty hard to, you know, narrow down patterns from Lego. And you know, when you think that they have a pattern that you recognize, they completely change it up. So, I don't know, that would make sense to me, but, you know, Lego is pretty unpredictable in terms of their uploading, and they're not uploading. Jay's Virtue sucked. Yeah, what was Jay's Virtue? Wasn't it honesty or something? I'm trying to remember what everyone's virtue is. It's been a minute since I've taken a look at Ninjago Core stuff. Kai's was courage. I think Jay's was honesty. Lloyd's was wisdom. I remember that. Zane's was generosity. What was Cole's? Balance. That's what Cole's was. And Nia's was curiosity. What a random selection of virtues to assign to these characters. Yeah, exactly. Jay, the most honest ninja. Yep, you know Jay, known for his honesty. Yep. If anything, they should have given Jay curiosity, because how many times has he gotten himself into a sticky situation because he was overly curious? Maybe Nia could have had honesty, or even better, maybe give Zane honesty and give Nia generosity or something. I don't know. Seems like they could have, assigned those a little bit better. Excuse me while I take a sip of my beverage here. Wu picked the goofiest virtues. He really did. I mean, is he a good teacher? I don't know. There's certainly a lot going against this guy. Let's see. Really hope more Ninjago seasons don't continue on like this. They should drop one episode every week. Can't stand waiting 3 months for the second part. Yeah, I feel like I saw a tweet like that where someone did the math, and they said that if part 2 released an episode every week, it would end on the 12th, or at least once part 1 ended. I think that makes sense, because it's 10 episodes for part 2, right? So 10 weeks. Are they 10 weeks apart? Seems like that's not quite right. Either way, you know, no matter the math, weekly episode releases would be awesome. It would kind of bring Ninjago back to its roots, you know, back in the earlier days, or at least back to the earlier days where Ninjago episodes would release weekly. I remember it very clearly. Every Wednesday on Cartoon Network, 6:30 p.m., there would be a new Ninjago episode. And that was true for seasons 1 and 2. And then after that, I blame Rebooted, honestly, for the really messy release schedules, because that season had the worst release schedule of all time. They only had 8 episodes to distribute over the course of a year, right? So what they did was, I don't know how many of you guys remember this, how many of y'all were around for the Rebooted days, but at least here in the States, they did 2 episodes every 3 months. That's pretty ridiculous. So I blame Rebooted. For all of that. At least Possession had a pretty consistent release schedule. I remember they released 1 episode per day over the course of like 2 weeks, like 2 Monday to Friday weeks. So yeah, it did suck. I remember back when I was younger watching Rebooted and being like, all right, those 2 episodes were cool. Can't wait to watch the next 2 in 3 months' time. Yeah, pretty awful. I did not like that at all. Let's see. Got Jedi Fallen Order and Final Fantasy 16 for your PS5. Awesome. They sound like fun. 2 games that I haven't played, unfortunately. But hopefully you're looking forward to checking those out on the PlayStation 5. It's a pretty good console. Ooh, Galarian Wheezing. What should I name it? Those are the ones with the top hats, right? They have like the smokestack things that kind of look like top hats. Maybe just call them top hat. Or top hats, plural. Because I think there's 2 top hats, right? Can't remember what Galarian Wheezing looks like. Top hat sounds like a cute name, though. This is my Galarian Wheezing top hat. Isn't he amazing? I don't know, there's my suggestion. I don't think I ever used a Galarian Wheezing, to be honest with you. I remember the typing being interesting. Isn't it like Poison Fairy or something like that? Pretty sure it's part Fairy type. You gonna do Lego Brawls? Probably later this week. Yeah, probably on Friday when we do the big gaming stream. We'll definitely play some Brawls that day. Let's see. Who do you like more, Kai or Wildfire, Euphrasia or Moro? I think obviously Kai is a lot better than Wildfire, but I do really enjoy Wildfire's character. I think she's going to be a lot of fun at some point down the road, and I think right now her character is super interesting. In terms of Euphrasia versus Moro, I mean, you guys know I have a pretty hot take when it comes to this subject. I really like Euphrasia. I think she has a lot of potential. I think she's going to be an awesome wind elemental master, and I kind of prefer her over Moro. That's kind of like my hot take of the day, or at least my hot take regarding Dragons Rising. I don't hate Moro, nothing against Moro, but, you know, I like Euphrasia just a tiny bit more, I think. But I understand that there are a lot of Moro fans out there that probably would not agree, and that's totally understandable. I get why people like Moro, I understand. Everybody likes the edgelord ghost boy, right? I think he's certainly a fun villain. Let's see. Do you mind that the 2 new elements in Dragons Rising aren't even real elements? Yeah, I put out a community tab post earlier today talking about that, or at least I kind of referenced it. What I said was like, since we have Tech and Heat now with Sora and Wildfire, what other new elemental powers should Ninjago introduce? And honestly, at this point, yeah, we could have literally anything with Tech and Heat being official powers. And I saw a lot of really cool comments out there with some really good ideas for elemental powers. I think I've always wanted to see like a sand elemental master or like a space elemental master. That'd be really, really cool. But yeah, I mean, honestly, there are a lot of elements that exist prior that aren't necessarily elements, right? Like speed. Speed's a great example. I hate Heat and Tech. Like, what is that even supposed to be? I understand that it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. I do agree, though, that Heat and Tech, they do kind of fall in line with some elements that we've seen prior. I also saw a lot of people say lava for an elemental power. I mean, I suppose, right? Right now, Earth is kind of like the lava representative, but if they really wanted to, they could make a lava element all on its own, but maybe they could call it, like, magma or something. Who is to say? Master of Mail. Yeah, I think sand would also be incredible. Air, give Aaron air. If heat and fire can exist, then wind and air can. That's actually a fair point. I remember seeing someone else commenting steam as an elemental power, and I think that would make sense too. I mean, yeah, if steam can be separate from, or, you know, if air and wind can be separate, much like how fire and heat are separate, same deal with like water and ice, surely there can be a steam element, right? Crystal? Yeah, Crystal was an elemental power that was going to be introduced back during Season 4, but they scrapped it, alongside a couple of other elemental powers that they ended up scrapping, one of them being Magnetism. They also had a Master of Time, initially, for Tournament. They scrapped that too, and as we all know, Time would later go on to become the element of the Time Boys, Acronix and Crux. So, you know, I mean, yeah, Crystal would be awesome. Not sure what that would look like, though. Yeah, there is an Elemental Master of Smoke. Who's to say there can't be a Steam Master, right? I mean, it is technically different. I understand, though, why people say that it seems like they're kind of running out of ideas for elemental powers. They should bring back imagination. They should, yeah. I think that was a part of the original Lego Universe game. They had like a gray ninja who was the master of imagination or something. Honestly, I mean, we have creation, but creation and imagination, you know, two different things. I mean, it does fit the logic of elemental powers. Ooh, what is your least favorite Lego movie? Probably the Lego Movie 2. And nothing against the Lego Movie 2. I think it's totally a good movie, but you know, one of them has to be my least favorite. I feel like a lot of folks maybe outside the Ninjago community would say Ninjago, though. Master of Wood. Sure, why not? Master of Forest, since we have nature. I was going to say, you could retcon nature as being jungle, and then you could have jungle and forest. There you go. 2 different things. Difference between an elephant and an elephant seal. Ninjago movie. Yeah, I feel like a lot of folks would say that, and that's okay. I understand why the Ninjago movie is kind of like seen as the least valuable or the least quality out of all the Lego films out there. I totally understand. I feel like to, general audiences, that's definitely the case. I kind of like the Ninjago movie, though. Maybe that's another one of my hot takes. I don't think the Ninjago movie is all that bad. Still waiting for the Elemental Master of Surprise. That'd be really cool if they could bring him into the show somehow. Maybe they could retcon that Fuchsia Ninja from the new Ninja from Crystallized as being the Master of Surprise. That'd be a nice retcon. Would love to see that. Across the Spooderverse comes out tomorrow. I thought I saw something about that. I'm not sure if I'm going to check it out tomorrow. Might wait for the Blu-ray to rewatch that one. I do want to add that one to my collection, though. Master of Silence, maybe Jay because he can't shut his mouth. Maybe. Master of Silence. Master of Talking, because why not? If they make a Master of Talking, like if they make talking an elemental power, I think it's safe to say that we can finally start questioning the choices for powers. Oh, here comes so-and-so, the Master of Speaking. Look out, everyone. He's gonna talk you to death. Honestly, it's not a bad idea. Master of Annoyance, because why not? Master of Blabber. Yeah, there you go. Can finally make that a real thing. Master of Music. Actually doesn't seem that bad. Can replicate any sound that they hear, perhaps. Then again, we already have a Master of Sound, so maybe they could just give Jacob that ability, because why not? I mean, yeah, Jay probably is the Master of Talking. Very true. Let's see. Do you think that Eren and Sora will fight in part 2? I mean, so far they seem like they're pretty good friends, right? I can see maybe a future conflict between the two, in the sense that maybe Eren is, convinced that Sora isn't using her elemental power to its fullest potential, because we kind of saw a glimpse of that in part 1, where Eren was like, wow, Sora, you're so lucky to have an elemental power. I wish I had an elemental power. But they were kind of over it by the end of part 1. Like, Sora was committed to, building up her tech power, and Eren's real concern was that since the original ninja were coming back, he didn't really have a spot on the team anymore. So it wasn't so much that he didn't have a power, it was that he thought he was going to get replaced by the older ninja coming back. So, I don't know, maybe they could make that a conflict. I remember talking in a video about how maybe they could make it similar to Kai's Green Ninja insecurities from the first couple of seasons. But, I don't know, like I said, Eren and Sora seem pretty chill right now. So, I'm not sure if they will fight. But if they were going to fight about something, maybe they'd fight about that. Where are kitties? Well, Waffle's on the bed here, just chilling next to me here. Not sure where Momo is. I fed her earlier, and I don't know where she is now. She's somewhere in here, sneaking around. But Waffle's right here, chilling on the bed, sleeping, having a bit of a nap while I stream there. In your opinion, who was the main ninja in Possession? I mean, I always say that it's Lloyd because he was on the box, but I know, narratively that doesn't make the most amount of sense. I know some folks say Nia, other people say it's like a team season. I don't know. I've always been on the side of it's probably Lloyd because his face is on the box and the story kind of revolves around his possessed corpse being carried around by a ghost, so I don't know. Some folks may also say it's a Cole season because of his whole ghost arc. But I feel like it's probably either Lloyd or Nia if I really had to pick one. Or more likely just a team season. So, let's see. Was time 2 elements or 1 element split into 2? I think it's just 1 element split into 2, right? Because both twins, they share the same power, but they control different aspects of time. And I can never remember who's got what aspect. But one of them has like rewind and fast forward and pause and all that good stuff. And, fast forward or whatever. I have no idea who controls what. But I feel like it's just 1 power split into 2. Wonder if other powers could do that or if it's just time that does that. Who is it to say? What else do we have here? I think Eren still wants a power because Spinjitzu is a martial art and anybody can be a master of that. That's true. Yeah, he's not really, special in the sense that he's the master of Spinjitzu, but I feel like his version of Spinjitzu, it kind of makes him a little bit more unique. I mean, it is still Spinjitzu at the end of the day, but I feel like he's a little bit more unique compared to some of the other Spinjitzu masters out there. Elemental power of friendship. Yeah, they could elaborate on the friendship tornado that destroyed the Oni at the end of season 10. Like, I really enjoy March of the Oni. I think it's kind of underrated, but I'm not really super keen on that that ending there where they just do the big friendship tornado and suddenly the Oni are gone. Wish they would have explored that a little bit more. Seems kind of like a rushed ending. Ooh, Aaron is very special. He makes pies. Very true. Absolutely. Let's see. Is Aaron the focus on? Oh, I get what you're saying there. Yeah, because Aaron is on the sets for Dragons Rising. I think that maybe part 2 for season 1 is going to be a little bit more Aaron heavy, because part 1 was kind of Sora heavy. So I feel like maybe they'll focus on Aaron a little bit more for part 2. Excited to see where that goes, for sure. Excuse me as I take a sip of my Mountain Dew here. Give me 1 second. Wonderful. Aaron could be the master of pies. The master of baking. There you go. Yeah, why not like a master of food? Can make any food that he can think of. I mean, why not, right? We have many other powers out there. Why not an elemental master of food? Elemental master of nutrients. I saw someone also say that they should do an elemental master that can stretch, like similar to like Elastigirl from The Incredibles or Fantastic Four Man. Yeah, maybe they could do like a stretchy stretch guy. Who knows? I mean, I'm surprised they haven't done that yet, to be honest with you. Why did they scrap Airjitzu? For a couple of reasons. Reason A, and this is all real according to Ninjago staff. Reason A, it made the ninja too overpowered. So they got rid of Airjitzu, they got rid of the elemental dragons starting with season 8 just because of that reason. And another reason that I've heard isn't really as, like, prominent, but I also heard that they thought that it was too unrealistic and they wanted to ground the series a little bit. And with Sons of Garmadon, yeah, this is the same season where half of someone's personality gets revived from the departed realm using 3 magical masks. So, you know, I mean, yeah, that's realistic, right? I mean, the ninja flying, though, using dragons? Nope. Crossing over the line there. But resurrecting half of your dead dad using 3 masks? That's realistic. I did that yesterday, man. People do that all the time, obviously. No, it's very stupid. Like, if they were gonna take them away, why didn't they... or if they were gonna take him away anyway, why did they even introduce it, you know? I get why people have that criticism towards Ninjago. Yeah, it's too unrealistic. The ninja flying? I feel like it would make the ninja too overpowered. I feel like that's more of a, you know... that's more of a justifiable reason, because, yeah, it kind of did. Yeah, it is. I actually saw a guy do that 3 blocks over. Yeah, and then he fought his dad in a prison and got beat up real bad and lost his own elemental power because of it. So that happens all the time, man. Like I said, I did that yesterday. Let's see. When trailer? Hopefully soon. I'm getting pretty impatient up in here. No, I'm just kidding. I'm very curious to see when it's going to come out, though. Maybe August 12th. That's probably our best prediction because it kind of lines up with part 1 and all that jazz. Where do you watch Dragons Rising? They have the first part of season 1 on Netflix currently. More specifically, Netflix in the States. I'm sure other territories have it too. So if you can't find it on your Netflix, may I recommend hopping on a VPN and checking it out that way? Perhaps. Thought it was October 12th. Yeah, that's when part 2 comes out. Officially. So... wish they explained it in the show rather than in outside material like Twitter. Yeah, because, you know, the casual audience isn't gonna get those memos, you know? They will just be like, oh, I mean, they just don't use the Airjitzu thing anymore. Except for that one time in Prime Empire, but that's a video game, who's counting that? But yeah, I kind of wish they explained it in the show too. But what would you do for like an in-universe reason? I mean, you know, we've heard before that maybe the ninja don't use Airjitzu anymore because it kind of draws on dark magic, and as pure beings that don't want to rely on dark Master Yang magic, they just refuse to use it. But there are so many situations where it's like, okay, you can kind of maybe break that vow so you don't die, like Cole in season 10 when he falls off the bounty. He's committed to that vow then. He's going to take that thing to the grave. With the elemental dragons, I mean, you know, they've said, oh, the ninja are just scared all the time now. Like in Sons of Garmadon, they were scared that they would never find Master Wu. So it's like, okay, so they just can't use their dragons. I don't know. I think there are like in-universe reasons, but they don't really make a whole lot of sense. So, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Let's see. Oh, it was Edo magic, which Klaus was a master in. I got you. So like dark Klaus magic. I got you. Yeah, that's still. I feel like you could probably break that vow for a couple of seconds though to save yourself from falling off the bounty. But maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me. They just forgot Silly Ninja. Honestly, wouldn't put it past them. They kind of go through a lot, so maybe the trauma pushed out that Airjitzu training. Who's it to say? Do you think that someone could have two elemental powers at the same time? I mean, it hasn't been possible in the past, right? From what we've been told, if an elemental master passes down their power through genetics, once they have a child, they no longer have their power because the power just lies within the child until the child can unlock it. So I don't think there can be two masters at the same time. But Dragon's Rising Part 1 is kind of like, oh, look at Wildfire Kai. She's also a fire master. What's up with that? But we know from other sources that her power is heat, at least as of right now. I bet you they'll probably reveal that in Part 2 and act like it's a big mystery that just got revealed. But, you know, it is what it is at the end of the day, right? Like I said, casual viewers aren't going to go out and, look through all this stuff. So they're just going to go into, or just experience what the show gives them. So think it is possible for a person to have two elements at once. Maybe. I mean, have we ever seen that aside from like Lloyd, who's like the obvious exception because he had like fire, lightning, earth, ice towards the beginning of his training, being the green ninja? Because heat equals fire for some reason. I get why people get them confused, right? Because they are looking rather similar. But Wildfire's heat, her fire, if you will, it burns blue. So I think that's a pretty big difference there. Kai's fire never burned blue, did it? Don't remember an instance where it ever did that. Let's see. What if Lloyd stayed evil? Then we would have a very different Ninjago series on our hands here. Like if he stayed a villain, I don't know. I think the series would look rather different without our green ninja. Pretty sure at Comic-Con they said in Part 2 they're going to talk more about her power. Yeah, I kind of expect them to do that, right? I mean, Part 1, like I said, they kind of introduced like maybe she has fire. I don't know. But in Part 2 they'll probably explain that a little bit more. That makes sense. Yeah, it is a different color. Different color means different element. Like if someone shows up and uses a different color of ice, that's like a darker blue than Zane's ice. It's like, oh, that's not ice, that's frost or something stupid like that. Might as well be. That's kind of what it is for fire and heat, right? Ice versus frost. What if we see like an elemental master that's kind of like a Walmart version of like every other elemental power that the ninja have? So instead of like lightning, it's like, oh, here comes the master of thunder. Look out, everyone. Maybe instead of earth, here comes the master of dirt. Be on the lookout for this guy. What would Nia's be? Master of puddles. I don't know. I mean, that kind of is what it is with fire and heat, right? Yeah, the elemental power of frost. If there is an elemental master of frost at some point down the line, I'm going to have to apologize extensively for giving them ideas for that guy. Of rain. There you go. Master of rain. Beautiful. Oh yeah, you could do steam. Moisture. Look out, here comes the master of moisture. He's going to beat you in a fight, totally, and not just get bullied off the battlefield. Absolutely. Yesterday there was a power outage in my neighborhood for 7 hours. My goodness, 7 hours without AC? Ugh, I don't know if I could do that, man. Glad you were able to make it through it okay, but I can't imagine how terrible that was. Master of the weather. That's actually not a bad idea. Having someone that can control the weather, not a bad idea, actually. No, that's Kia, Jake, Zach, Coke, Floyd, and Mia. Oh my gosh, the B team. You guys know that one episode of Gumball where they kind of meet like the rip-off versions of themselves? They should do a Ninjago episode like that where they go to a new realm, but every person in that realm is just like a Walmart version of a character that we already know. Nia, meet Mia. She's the master of steam or rain or moisture or whatever. Yeah, master of moisture. Master of plasma. That's not a bad idea. But yeah, they could totally do that Gumball episode, but for Ninjago. Not sure how that would work now since we have the merge and all that, but I think that could be interesting. Someone should make like a fan fiction of that. That'd be a fan fiction that I'd actually read. Let's see, where is my Mountain Dew? There we are. Master of animals. Yeah, why not? Master of Animals. I mean, Dareth kind of already has that power claimed, but I don't think Dareth's ever going to become like an actual, He's not going to become an elemental master. We saw what he is with an elemental power, with Brown. Didn't really go very well for anyone involved. Master of student debt. Me IRL. No, I don't got that much debt. I don't think I have any. Now that I think about it, I mean, my school sends me a thing every so often because I overpaid my tuition somehow. So I don't know. Maybe they'll hit me up in a couple of months with my bill. Who's to say? Cross that bridge when we get to it, right? It's a great way to live life. Put off your problems until they show up at your doorstep. Don't do what I do. Let's see. What dragon do you like more, Ryu or Zippy? That's a good question. Ryu or Zippy? I'd say Ryu, honestly. I mean, Zippy's cool. Zippy's just like a big doggo, but so is Ryu. Ryu's like a little puppy, you know? And I feel like I'm more so a fan of the smaller dogs as opposed to the big dogs. I mean, big dogs are cool, in small doses, but little baby dogs, I think those are the best type of dogs. So I'd say Ryu. I mean, either way, they're both puppers, so. And yes, he's so small and cute, and he's so precious, so I'd say Ryu. Yeah, apparently I did overpay my tuition because they send me a check every now and then. They're like, hey, you overpaid. I'm like, all right, cool. Thanks, guys. Never did buy, like, textbooks or anything like that, so maybe that's what that's for. Who knows? College textbooks are ridiculously overpriced. And it's really stupid. Luckily, with my school, you didn't really need them, so, it is what it is. Did you get the Lego Dream sets? I got the one. I got the crocodile car. Should I get any other Dream sets? Like, are there any other sets that you guys think I should grab? I mean, I do kind of want the small is it Z-Blob? The small Z-Blob set with Mateo. I kind of want that one. I might want to get that bunny too, like that small $20 rainbow bunny thing that comes with Pickle Girl. Might want to pick up that one. That one looks interesting. Turtle Bus. Actually, that's not a bad idea. I do kind of like the Turtle Bus. Oh, the Pegasus? Yeah, that one looks really cool as well. Might want to grab that one. Yeah, dorms are kind of expensive. Luckily, I only lived in my dorm for like the first 3 semesters of college. And those were like the worst times of my life. So, just because my dorms were so stupid. Let's see. Gonna start online college within the next few weeks. Have any advice? I've taken some online classes. Try to keep up with them. Make sure you're looking out for those due dates because I missed a couple of assignments when I was in school and they came back to bite me towards the end of the semester. So always remember your due dates. There's my one piece of advice. Was your roommate good? I had a couple of roommates. I'm not sure if I ever told you guys the story of my college roommates. The first guy, I don't think any of them are watching my stream. So, the first guy, he had already been there for a year before I moved into the same room as him. And he was cool. I didn't really mind him too much. We kind of just kept to ourselves, but he would play, Destiny. That was like his thing. He would sit on his computer and play Destiny like all night long. He was respectful about it. He put up like curtains or whatever. So the glare of the TV wouldn't, distract me when I was trying to sleep or whatever. And he kept pretty quiet. So, he was cool. He was all right. My second roommate, he was also a pretty nice guy, but his thing was he always misplaced his room key. So I would go away for a weekend, right? I would come back and I would get a letter in my mailbox at my dorm. And it would be like, hey, your roommate lost your key, so over the weekend we had the locksmith come in and change your locks. Here's your new key. So I went through maybe 4 or 5 keys during that one semester because he couldn't, keep his keys on him to save his life, apparently. But, yeah, those were the stories of my college roommates. Both pretty cool guys, but, never really kept touch with them after college. So, but yeah, that was his claim to fame. He would always lose his room key. So, I swear those locks were changed like 4 or 5 times during that one semester. So, yeah, there's a bit of that. When I start college, I definitely don't want to live there. Yep, I don't blame you. Also, I know I've told this before, but the dorm room bathrooms did not have locks on them. So you guarantee we were walking in on each other left and right because there were no locks on the doors and there was no way of knowing who was in the bathroom. Sure, the light might be on, but someone could have just left the light on, So it was a pretty dumb system. They locked from the inside, so you couldn't, the way that my dorms were set up, it was like 2 rooms with a bathroom connecting the 2, 2 people in each room, and all 4 of us shared that one bathroom, right? But yeah, they would lock from the inside, so you couldn't like cut across the bathroom to get into someone else's room, but that also meant that they didn't have locks going into the bathroom. So, do you have trauma from that? Yep, yeah, yes I do. I was walked in on when I was showering, and you know, obviously you don't want to be walked in on when you're in the bathroom in general. So yeah, it was not a very good experience. But those were like the cheaper dorms. The more expensive rich kid dorms, those had individual bathrooms per student. So I wasn't a rich kid going to college, so I could barely afford it as it was. So, you know, guaranteed, or, you know, long story short, I did not have the rich kid bathrooms. So, but that's pretty traumatizing. There's a traumatizing story from my existence, from my past, if you will. What else do we got here in the chat? Let me take a sip of my Mountain Dew quick before we proceed. That was a long tale. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. Yeah, it's bringing back all these horrible memories. No, but living in the dorms was fine at the end of the day. It was cool to live on campus, but yeah, there are definitely some not so great parts about living at these specific dorms. Ooh, any advice for my first day of high school? Just go in it with a lot of confidence, you know? You can do it. Starting off high school is kind of scary. I remember when I did, but you'll get through it. Don't worry. And remember, it's all going to be temporary at the end of the day. So, you know, try to make the best of it. Might run into some sticky situations every now and then, but you'll get through it. Just always keep your chin up. Remain positive. The power of positive thinking. I personally didn't have a great time in high school. But, you know, it's over before you know it, especially my first year. My first year was kind of rough, but it's over before you know it. Just keep on keeping on, and you will be okay. Let's see. Larumi coming back? I don't know if Harumi is going to be in this series again. Honestly, if I was working on the Ninjago series, I would say no more Harumi. And that's not to say that I don't like Harumi, because I really do like Harumi as a character. But Crystallized caused a lot of controversy between Harumi and the Ninjago fan base. So I feel like the show saw all that, and they're like, oh, no more Harumi. Guess who's never coming back? I don't know. I mean, I like Harumi, but I understand if the series never wants to show her again. I get it. Speaking of which, let's put on some crystallized pictures, shall we? The most controversial Ninjago season of all time. Honestly, it might be up there in terms of like controversial Ninjago seasons. I can't think of a season that's more controversial than Crystallized. You either love it or you hate it, at least in my experience. Do your homework. I may have missed some last year. That's good advice. Do your homework. Also, I was kind of a little bit too excited to pick out some classes for high school, because I picked out some college courses in like my sophomore year, and I was not ready for them, long story short. Those college classes were so difficult, and it was just mainly it was chemistry. It was college chemistry. Oh my goodness. Never again will I take a chemistry course until the day I die. That is not happening. But no, I'd say try to research your classes before you select them if you have the ability to choose your classes. Yeah, try to do some research, because I did not, and I paid the price for it. I still passed, but it was definitely like my lowest grade of all time. Thank you, college chemistry, that I took my sophomore year of high school. Yeah, they offered a couple of college courses, because if you passed them, you got college credit. And that would mean less time spent at college and less money that you spend because you're taking less classes in college. So a couple of my college courses in high school were very good for me to take, because they got rid of some really stupid mandatory classes that I had to take for college. Like I took in high school, I took college algebra my junior year, and that actually set me ahead of a lot of people when I got to college. So I'd say try to take some college classes if you can, but if they let you. But please, for the love of everything that exists, please research them. Make sure that you can handle them before you blindly sign up. Don't make the same mistake I did. Had to take chemistry to do anything with animals, and I hated it all. Oh man, yeah, chemistry is the worst. I remember just standing there at those lab tables, not knowing what I was doing. I don't like college chemistry. But I passed at the end of the day, so I didn't have to take it in college, and that was a mandatory class, so I was glad that I was able to skip out of that one. So, I mean, I guess it was good, but, I hated doing it. Yeah, chemistry was required for me too. At least in college, but I took it in high school, so I didn't have to take it when I got to college, so I guess in a way I ripped the Band-Aid off early, but I wonder if I would have waited if I would have gotten a better grade. Oh well, doesn't really matter now, because I'm out of college, and I never need to go back, so... it's just a canon event. Oh, of course, it's just a canon event. Name the elements on the periodic table. Oh, good lord. I'm going to start naming Pokemon because most of the elements on the periodic table sound like they should be Pokemon names. Oh, man. I know Fe is iron because I used to always make the joke, here comes Fe man, and it was just like Iron Man, So that's the only one I know. I ain't going back, man. That was like, let's see, how many years ago was that? I was a sophomore in 2016 in high school. So that's like a lot of years ago, like 7 maybe? 7 years ago. What college courses did you do? I did chemistry. I did algebra my junior year. I did a couple of English classes. There was literally one English class, ironically enough, that had the worst title ever. It was called College Writing. And it's like, okay, guys, you couldn't have come up with something more creative. College writing. Ironic coming from the English class. But I took that one. I think I took one more math class. Might have been, it wasn't like geometry. I think it was trigonometry, but could be wrong. I don't know. That was many, many moons ago. And I'm kind of out of school now. So I kind of pushed a lot of that out of my brain. But, I did like my English classes. Like when I first went to college, I was studying English, but then I transitioned to marketing, which is what I have a degree in now. So, yeah, Master of Chemistry. Honestly, Master of Science. Make that an Elemental Master. Why not? And then, like an idiot, when I was in college, I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I really hated my history classes in high school. What am I going to do? I'm going to minor in history. What a great idea. No, it wasn't a great idea. And we took these really dumb history classes my first year at college, and it was kind of like a role play thing. I'm not joking when I say it was kind of like a role play thing. Like, they would choose, first of all, my professor had an amazing mustache. He had like a nice handlebar mustache. It was the most beautiful mustache I've ever seen in my life. But we had like this weird role play class where we had to like go through a certain era of history, and everybody would get like a character. And one person would be like the game master or whatever, and you would have to pretend to be your characters whenever you were in class. Like the minute you stepped foot into the door to the minute that you left, you were in character, or else you didn't get a good grade. And it was so bizarre. It's like I'm trying to take a history class, right? This isn't drama, this is history. Yeah, it literally was LARPing. It was so strange, and I hated that class more than anything, because I didn't understand half of what was going on, because, for some reason I was like, let's minor in history. Big mistake. Don't do that. Because I suck at memorization and all that jazz. So, but yeah, then on top of that, I had to learn how to act, because if I didn't act right, I got a bad grade. Needless to say, I finished that class with a C- and I never looked back. Sorry, not sorry. But yeah, that was it was a weird time. That was my first semester at high school. Then I changed my minor to film, and I got to take some film classes, and that was a lot of fun. Yeah, history wasn't very easy for me. Like I said, it was terrible to I was terrible at memorizing things. I still am. So history was not really the best subject for me in high school and college. So I wonder what I was thinking when I was like, let's minor in history. It's almost like I didn't know that you could minor in like a bajillion other things. Oh well. Like I said, do your research before you sign up for classes. It's a mistake that I made a lot in my time of being in school. Did you even learn anything? Nope, because I was focused on whether or not I could act right. This is stupid. Why are you acting in history? That is a great question. Fantastic question. I remember I had to go to this one thing because my grade was like, a little bit lower than I wanted it to be for that weird roleplay history class. So I went to an extra credit thing, and it was like a mini LARP session. It only lasted a couple of hours as opposed to a full semester. But if you did that, you got like extra credit. You basically got extra credit just for showing up. So there's another good piece of advice. Do extra credit when you can. It helps in the long run. Sure, it might suck to get more work, but it does help in the long run. So take your extra credit. What else do we got here? When did the War of 1812 occur? I don't know, man. I don't know when the War of 1812 occurred. Couldn't have been in 1812, right? I know some stuff about history. Yeah, it was a mini LARP session. We all gathered in like a big lecture hall, and they gave us our characters. My character was like a single mother or something during like the 1960s. I don't know. I said like maybe 2 lines during the entire thing, and I got 10 points of extra credit. It was so bizarre. But take your extra credit opportunities where you can. I also remember being kind of I don't know what the right word to describe this is, but I would go to in one of the main lecture halls at my college, right? There were often like seminars that would take place for like upcoming trips or whatever, or like clubs that you could like, join a first meeting of and see if you liked it. I kind of just went for the free food, Most of these things had pizza and like, stuff like that, pizza and soda. So when I didn't feel like buying my own food, I would just go to these seminars and act interested just to eat the free pizza. Not sure what you would call that, but feel free to label me in the chat. I want to say like a freeloader, but I don't know. I don't know if that's the right word. Maybe it is. I have no idea. I was just there for the food, man. What can I say? It was good pizza. You get some pizza, you get a soda, you sit down and pretend to be interested in this trip to Berlin. I don't know. Berlin looked pretty, I guess. The pizza was good, though. What if Lego changed the name of Ninjago to Ninja Fight? I don't know about that. It sounds like one of those bootleg companies. Like, how some bootleg companies just call it, like, Ninja, and it's very obvious it's obviously supposed to be Ninjago. So, it sounds like it might be one of those. Ninjago's, like, a great name for the series. Hasn't really been hurting it yet, so would call that a Homer Simpson. Hungry and poor. That's about right. It's pretty much what I was in my first semester at college there. Hungry and poor. Yeah, my first college semester was pretty rough. But I got used to it eventually. Semesters 2 and 3 were definitely a lot better. Then I moved out of the dorms and changed schools because my old school got too expensive. So, yeah, there's my brief history of me in college. Now I've been graduated for about a year, and it feels great. Still doing YouTube. Not using my degree. I mean, I guess I kind of am. Saw fake Lego at the hardware store the other day. At the hardware store. I mean, that's not super crazy, right? My hardware store has, like, rats and stuff and turtles that you can buy. Ace's Hardware. You can buy pets there. You can also buy pets, and you can buy lawnmowers. Kind of a horrible combination, but it is what you can do. Welcome to America. What else do we got here? Didn't know the Dark Island trilogy existed until after Crystallized. For the longest time, I thought Klaus was still out there after Skybound, and he was going to be revealed as the Vengestone buyer. That would have been a sick reveal if Klaus was the Vengestone buyer. That would have been really, really cool. You can buy pets at Ace. Oh yeah, they have they got mice, they got birds. It's mainly like smaller animals, so like mice, birds, fish. When I was at Ace's the last time, I was trying to pick up some batteries, and I walked through the pet section. They had some lizards there for half price because no one wanted to adopt the lizards, and the lizards were pretty cool. So if I didn't have cats, I would have gotten a really cool lizard because I like lizards. I think they're really cool. I don't know the first thing about taking care of a lizard, but I think it'd be cool to have a lizard for a pet. And yeah, they were half price because no one wanted them. It was kind of a shame. Hope they get adopted soon because they are awesome and they deserve it. Do you have a knife? Yeah, I have a couple, like pocket knives or whatever. Yeah. I'm not like a knife collector. I know a lot of people do collect knives. You can buy like knife display cases. I've actually gotten knife display cases before, but for Lego minifigures, because they also double as great minifigure display cases if you get the right one. So yeah, I've purchased knives before in my day. I got a few. I know some people collect them, like Jang Bricks. On his other channel, I don't know if he still does it, but he used to review knives, and they were pretty cool. I actually watched some of his videos in preparation for buying my first one a couple years ago, so it's not too bad. As long as you don't get like illegal knives, you should be fine. I mean, you can buy knives on Amazon. Let's see, about a pet snake today. Very, very cool. If I ever got a pet snake, I'd probably name it after one of the snakes in Ninjago. I'm sure a lot of Ninjago fans have snakes out there that are called Pythor or Scales or something like that. That's a pretty cool name for a pet snake. Like, a snake is like the perfect pet for a Ninjago fan. If real life dragons existed, I think that would be perfect. But snakes, next best thing. Spit up. Here's my pet snake, Spitta. He's named after this lovely boy from the Ninjagos. Yes, Pythor the Cannibal. Can't wait to get a snake and name him Baitar. Beautiful. Wonderful name. Baitar. Should be at the top of everybody's lists. There's actually a snake that up at the we have like a family cabin. It's more so just like a house off the side of the highway, but we call it the cabin. It's not a cabin, it's a house more or less. But we do have a house up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. My dad goes up there a lot, actually going up there in a few weeks myself after having not been there for about a year. But the point of the story, there is a snake that is currently living in my dad's garage. And the snakes up there, they're not like harmful or anything. They're like garden snakes, but this one must be like the biggest garden snake in the history of garden snakes because this dude is huge. My dad sent me pictures of it roaming around the garage. This thing is long. It looks like a long black hose. It's like black and yellow. But he seems like a cool snake. My dad's trying to figure out what to name it. Maybe I will suggest Baitar or Pythor, one of the two. But yeah, there's a snake that lives in my dad's garage. He seems pretty chill. Name it Scales Jr. Maybe if it has a baby, I'll rename it Scales, and then the baby can be Scales Jr. Can you imitate one of the ninja? No, I'm not really good at impressions. I don't even know what line I'd say. Hey, it's me. It's Kai, the red one. There's my impression. How's your day going? It's going all right. Pretty tired, though. I don't know if you guys can tell. I'm kind of low energy today. Does it bite people? I mean, it might, but even if it does bite you, it's not like venomous. The snakes up there aren't really venomous. We're not like in an area where venomous snakes are, prominent. So they're just little garden snakes. Well, this one's not really little, but pretty harmless, I guess. Let's see. Almost got bit by a rattlesnake in the garage once because it was hidden. Yeah, I don't envy people that like live, like down south. I hear that's a big problem with like scorpions and spiders, especially. Like we have spiders around here, but they're pretty harmless, like house spiders. I think the worst that you can get around here is like a wolf spider, but I know there are places like down south. Where you get like black widows, and it's like, oh, I gotta go spray for the black widows. And the folks in Australia, I really don't envy them because they have some mutant creatures over there in Australia. Those things look horrifying. So I'm glad I don't live in Australia. But we just have like harmless little house spiders or whatever. Sometimes I do a Doofenshmirtz impression. It's pretty impressive. I like Dr. Doofenshmirtz just as much as the next guy. Let's see. When I was little, I would get lizards and scorpions from outside, put them in a plastic container, and they were dead the next day. Oh, man. Yeah, I think when we're all, like, really young, we don't really understand how things need to breathe. So, yeah, I definitely know some people that did that, too. I never, like, collected, like, scorpions or whatever, because we don't got scorpions around here. Even lizards are kind of hard to find. But, like, frogs, we have a lot of frogs and toads around here. I know for a fact that some of my friends in grade school used to do that. It's part of learning, I guess. We understand how life works. Just looked up the snake in there. So cute. Yeah, snakes can be oddly cute sometimes. Or are oddly cute sometimes. Would call them my pets. I used to know this guy in grade school. He was kind of a psycho, for lack of a better term. He would capture spiders in like plastic containers, and he'd be like, I'm going to make them fight. And I'm like, all right, cool. You do your thing, buddy. And he would just sit there for hours on end watching these spiders just sit there in the plastic Tupperware containers because they wouldn't fight. They would just sit there and stare at each other. So, I mean, that was this kid's Kung Zoos, I guess, like those Zuzu pets that would fight each other. He just like collected real spiders and would try to quote unquote make them fight. I know some spiders do that, but like if you get two daddy long legs and stick them in a container, they're not going to do anything. They're just going to sit there. They're just going to sit there and exist. So, yeah, this kid, he was certainly something. He was certainly something. He also would jump off the top of the bleachers in school and do, like, combat rolls in gym class. He was certainly something. He certainly existed. Wonder where that kid is now. Wonder what he's up to. Might be in jail. Who knows? Would not be surprised. Let's see. Where I am in Arizona, always check your shoes because you might find a scorpion. Found out the hard way. Oh, that sounds horrifying. My dad used to live out in Arizona. He actually has not like a frozen scorpion, but like when, I don't know what the right word to describe it is. Like sometimes with small bugs or whatever, when they die, you can like get them like casted kind of. So he has like a small blue little orb thing with like a dead scorpion inside. And apparently it's one that he found and like took to some place and they did it for him like 30 years ago when he used to live down in Arizona. So I don't know if they still do that. I don't even know what the right term is, but yeah, he does have a little plastic thing with a scorpion in it. So not sure what you would call that. I'm not a scorpion expert or whatever you would call that. Yeah, little glass thing with a scorpion. Exactly. Same thing applies to Western Texas. I can't imagine that. If I ever move down south, it's going to take me a lot of effort to try to get into the habit of checking my shoes for scorpions. Because we don't need to do that up in the north, let me tell you that. We don't have scorpions around here. The only scorpions that we have are Transformers named Scorponok. So, got a couple of those on the shelf back there. But they don't crawl inside your shoes and wait for you to, put your foot in there. What do you think of people from Florida? I don't have anything against Florida people, but you see all those stories all the time where it's like, and this is a true story, it was like guy on roof dressed as Spider-Man pressure washes his roof during a hurricane. Like Florida people, they definitely are a certain type of people. That's for sure. Texas is too hot. Don't come here, please. Yeah, I wasn't really planning on it, man. I've never been to Texas. I mean, Texas does sound like it could be fun, but probably not for an extensive period of time. I went down to Nevada during the summer, and that was not good. A couple summers ago, went down to Nevada and Vegas and all that. That was not fun. Very, very warm down there. Same deal with LA. Have you ever seen an owl before? Oh yeah, we get owls around here all the time. You can sometimes hear them if you're standing out on the porch at night. You can hear them calling to each other back and forth. Because we live right next to like a big woodland thing. It's like a set of woods behind our house here. So yeah, we hear the owls. I've seen them up at the family house that we talked about because that's also next to a big plot of wilderness. So yeah, we see owls all the time. We also see raccoons and deer and all that jazz. We actually had video a while ago. My dad has a couple of cameras outside. We had videos of a couple of raccoons. One of them was like scaling the house. Not sure if you guys remember that. So, let's see. We have coyotes that sound like kids screaming. That'd be kind of creepy to hear at night. I've seen a coyote once in the wild. Back up behind my house, up at the up north in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, because we used to live out there. So before we moved to Wisconsin, we've had wolves and a bobcat in our yard once. Ooh, bobcats would be cool to see. Never saw a bobcat aside from like in a zoo. Never seen a wild one. Not really wolves either. Coyotes, yep. Have you ever heard two raccoons fighting? It sounds horrible. I have not, but it does sound horrible. Two raccoons fighting. Nope. Can't say I've ever heard that. Sounds like it'd be horrifying though. Saw a prairie dog once. Oh, that's cute. I like prairie dogs. I see those guys at the zoo all the time too. Have random screams I hear from outside in the middle of the night. Really odd. Yeah, I mean, it's like that a lot here, but we kind of live like in the suburbs now, Like we still have like forest or whatever, but on the opposite side of the house, it's like a town, So sometimes you hear screaming and you don't know if it's an animal or if it's someone from the town either screaming for fun or if they're screaming because there's danger. Maybe they're screaming because there's an animal. I don't know. Who's to say? Let's see. What else do we got here? We have been streaming for about an hour and 9 minutes, so we should probably start wrapping it up soon. But we could probably answer a couple more before we call it quits here for today. Been having a lot of fun talking to you guys about just random stuff and telling you guys stories or whatever. Have you seen 20 turkeys at once? Can't say I have. I feel like the most I've seen is like 4 or 5 at one given time. Sometimes you see turkeys on the side of the highway. Rapid fire questions? Okay, sounds good. Let's do some rapid fire questions, ladies and gents, before we wrap it up. Ooh, excited for the Pokemon Presents tomorrow. I'm going to be honest, I forgot that it was even a thing. I forgot that was coming out. It's coming out tomorrow. I'll give it a watch. I'll probably be up for that. Totally. Ooh, we have Roadrunners at my apartment. That's pretty sweet. I remember my dad telling stories about Roadrunners that he used to see down in Arizona. I've never seen one IRL, though. The most I know about Roadrunners is from Looney Tunes. Ha 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 ha. Let's see. Have you ever committed a felony? Are you trying to get me to admit something here? I mean, there are a lot of really stupid laws that exist, like really minor laws that you don't know you're breaking. So, I mean, I guess I might have no comment. I'll let you guys make your predictions. Let's see. Favorite Transformers movie? Definitely the one from 1986, but if you want me to pick a live action one, I'd still probably say Bumblebee. Rise of the Beasts is good, but I think Bumblebee's just a tiny bit better. Maybe just a little bit. Let's see. Quick question. Weapons of Spinjitzu were in the monastery when Wu and Garmadon fought, but in the pilot season they were all in different places. Yeah, because after Wu and Garmadon fought during that event where Garmadon got struck down to the underworld, after that Wu went and hid them and placed a dragon to protect each one. So that's what happened with the golden weapons. That's why in the pilots they have to travel from place to place. They're going back to where Master Wu hid them after he and Garmadon fought over them. So yeah, like speeding. Who wants to go slow? Yeah, exactly. I've been pulled over for speeding. I've been ticketed for speeding. So I guess if speeding counts as a felony, which I'm pretty sure it does, then yeah, I guess I have. Have I seen Transformers Prime? I have, yeah. It's definitely one of the better Transformers shows. I have the entire series on DVD on my DVD shelf, along with Animated, Beast Wars, and G1. Pretty sure those are the only shows that I have on DVD. Not even Beast Machines, man. Let's see. Transformers movies are overrated. Yeah, I mean, they're kind of hated by a lot of people, and I totally understand why. Favorite season of Ninjago? Season 4. Tournament. My favorite for a long time now, ever since it came out. Sons of Garmadon came close to topping it, but Tournament's still my favorite. I remember I stole Kimono Lloyd from that one book one time. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm sure little kids like steal things all the time, and it's like they don't know that it's wrong because, you know, they're little kids. They don't know any better. I'm pretty sure I've stolen things too when I was like really, really young. Ninjago Blu-ray, good idea or no? Yeah, great idea. If they ever release Ninjago Blu-rays, I'm buying all of them. Right now, I think the only season that they have on Blu-ray is season 2. At least the only official one. I know people make like fan rips of them and burn them onto discs or whatever, but I'm pretty sure the only official season that has a Blu-ray release is season 2. A lot of seasons have DVD releases. Like I think they have DVDs up until Hunted, if I'm remembering correctly, at least here in the States. I think other territories made like later seasons, but yeah, if they had Blu-rays for all of the Ninjago seasons, I would buy them. Would love to have that series fully complete and on my movie shelf. Absolutely. Now, I haven't seen Monkey Kid Season 4 yet, nor that special. I was just thinking about that earlier today, that I should watch those soon. Maybe I'll give them a watch. Maybe at some point this week if I have time. May or may not have stolen some Ninjago figures from my cousins. I mean, I've had cousins growing up that used to steal my Pokemon cards, so I get it. Cousins steal from one another. I understand. Up until Hunted is on Prime. I gotcha. I know on Netflix they have like almost everything. I don't think Netflix, at least in the States, I don't think they have the pilots, and I don't think they have Day of the Departed, but I'm pretty sure they have everything else. Who's your least favorite ninja? Probably, it kind of alternates between Kai and Nia, depending on how I'm feeling during any given day, but I still don't hate either of those characters, you know? They're still great characters. Just someone's got to be the least favorite, right? They kind of just swap, you know, for me, depending on what day of the week it is. Do you plan on buying any of the new Sonic the Hedgehog sets? I'm not really like a huge Sonic person. I've seen the movies, and that's about the extent of my Sonic knowledge, but I gotta say, those sets do look pretty cool. I was kind of checking them out when I was at Target earlier today, and they look alright. I like the one with the loop in it. I feel like fans of the Sonic games are gonna love that set. I didn't buy any, though. Like I said, not really a big Sonic guy. Maybe I'll get some of the figures at some point down the line. I don't think they have Knuckles, do they? I might get Knuckles whenever they make him. Go on Bricklink and buy him. Let's see. Sometimes I steal stuff, but I'm trying to stop considering I went to jail before because of it. I mean, yeah, it's good that you're trying to stop, though, right? I mean, you know, a lot of people have issues that they can work through, but you know, it's part of existing. That's part of being on this planet. So we believe in you. Keep up the great work. We're proud of you. Let's see. What do you think would catch people's eyes the most for others who are entering Ninjago? Ooh, good question. Like if I was an outsider, what do I think would be the best thing about Ninjago, or like the most eye-catching thing? I mean, the style of Ninjago is pretty great, like the visual style and the animation, but like story-wise, I think maybe just the extensive lore would lure people in, right? Because Ninjago has an expansive world with so many corners and so many stories to tell. I think that would be pretty unexpected to someone else on the outside, you know? Like, I can see people looking at Ninjago and being like, wow, this Lego show actually has some type of depth to it. There's actually a story here. It's not just a toy commercial. I feel like that would definitely impress a lot of people. It would lure people in. Yes, exactly. It would lure people in. But no, I think Ninjago has a great story. I think it's kind of complicated, you know, because, you know, it's been going on for years. And, you know, if you start at the beginning, though, you'll understand it. I think that would definitely lure a lot of people in, though. And let's answer one more before we wrap up here. I was trying to do like rapid fire questions, but I feel like I kind of went a little bit long on some of these. So let's answer one more before we wrap up here, before we call it quits. Stretch really quick because my legs are kind of cramping up. I feel like Ninjago is just oh yeah, Ninjago is like a glorified toy commercial. At the end of the day, that's what it is, right? But not all toy commercials have to be bad, you know? Like Transformers, all of those movies are toy commercials, and some of them are good. Anything that has like merch, you know, anything that's based off toys. Like Pokemon, you know, the show was made to advertise the games, right? That's technically a commercial for the game, but you know, it stands out as something special. But let's do one more though. One more question. Let's see. Let's see. What do we got here? Ooh. Do you think the Time Twins are connected to the merge? So the Time Twins, I mean, yeah, we've kind of been waiting for a long time to see those guys again, right? But I'm not sure if Ninjago will ever bring those guys back. I don't feel like they are a part of the merge personally. It would make sense if you look at it like you know, the timeline is being disrupted and these realms are being torn out of time and dropped into Ninjago, but I think that's kind of pushing it. I feel like instead the merge is more or less just the Source Dragons. Something happened with the Source Dragons where they needed to merge all of the realms together, or at least that's what I'm assuming right now. So I feel like it's more so dragons that are the fault of the merge, or at least the reason as to why the merge happened. The Time Twins, it would be cool to see those guys back again, but I don't know. I'm not sure if we will ever see those guys back. Yeah, they never died. That is true. So they could come back, but I don't know. Dragons Rising seems like it's trying to do something new, right? Tell a new story. So I feel like a lot of the older villains, we probably won't see those guys, at least for a long time. Like the Overlord should probably be a part of this equation, right? But following Crystallized, his storyline is kind of done. So I don't know. I feel like the Time Twins could come back, but ultimately the merge is probably just because of those pesky dragons that Imperium keeps on capturing and draining, because they also want the power of the dragons. So I get it. If they can merge realms together, though, those would be pretty high value targets, right? Imagine what we could do with that power. But with that being said, though, guys, I think we're going to wrap it up there for today's stream. We have been streaming for 1 hour and 18 minutos. So let's round it out here, ladies and gentlemen. Streaming schedule. We stream Monday to Friday, 6 to 7 Central. Daily updates on the community tab, all of that good stuff. Tomorrow, I think tomorrow we can do... Let's see. Tomorrow's kind of a random day, so I'm not sure what we want to do for tomorrow. I have a couple of different options here. We could do Shadow of Ronin. We could do a me stream. We could do something else. I think I'm more inclined to do the me stream, though, for tomorrow. It's been a minute since we've made some Ninjago me's. Maybe we could do that tomorrow. That sounds like fun. So plan on that then for tomorrow. Plan on a me stream tomorrow, since we haven't done that in a while. And then, you know, later on this week, we will do more activities and all that good stuff. But until next time, thank you so very much for watching. Let's drop some hugs in the chat there. Thank you all so very much for tuning in to today's stream. Hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. I know I sure did. And with that being said, same time, same place tomorrow, we will be back for another stream. Hope to see you guys there. Have a fantastic rest of your day or night, everybody, whatever time of day it might be for you. Hope you have a good one, and we will see you guys again on the channel for another stream very, very soon. Have a good one. Stay safe out there. We'll talk to you guys again later on. Peace.